We're going to go through a really quick video today to give some pointers on how to set up your BirdReel NH13 BirdHouse for nesting season. Now that we're in the thick of nesting season and we're getting a lot of calls from folks who have purchased the NH13, we want to make sure that you set your motion detection settings properly to conserve your battery as much as possible. One of the most important things with a BirdHouse is to try to minimize any disruption after you have some baby birdies in your house. You don't want to be messing with the camera or having to recharge it if you don't have to. And so these tips are going to help you understand how to set your settings for motion detection and video recording duration so that you can extend the life of the battery as much as possible. So I'm going to jump right into the app here, and I'm going to go straight into the NH13 device. Make sure that anytime you're setting configurations on your camera that you use the enter device from the main device screen versus going into the settings from the main menu here. It just makes sure that the camera is awake because you're on the live stream, and that way you know your settings are going to be saved properly. So once we open up the live stream, well, you can see here that I do have motion detection on right here on my main menu, which is great. You can keep that on. You also want to check your battery level. So here I've got 100% battery because we've been getting a lot of sunshine here in Denver the last few days. But if your battery starts to erode or get down to 20% or so on a consistent basis, you're going to want to turn off the motion detection or bird spotting for a little while to let that battery charge back up during the day. And if you see that consistently, you're going to want to adjust some of these settings to make sure that your battery doesn't die, which would cause you to have to go into the BirdHouse and charge the camera. So let's go into those settings. I'm going to go into the upper right section here with the three dots. That opens up the settings menu. And then I'm going to go into one area called detection alarm settings. It's under advanced settings. And from here you can see that I've got motion detection alarm on, which is fine. I first of all want to set a schedule. So instead of having it notify you all day, 24 hours a day, that motion is going on, obviously when there are babies in there or when the birds are starting to build their nest, there's going to be a lot of activity. So your motion detection is going to be going off all the time, day and night. And so we want to set a schedule so that we're not constantly getting those notifications. So I go down under alarm timer settings, hit schedule. And right now I'm on all day on. I want to change that to schedule by pressing schedule. And what we like to do is try to set it sometime in the morning when the sun starts coming up. For us right now, it's around 5 a.m. And then you could turn it off at some time, maybe around 6 p.m. or so. And that is going to be a 13-hour window. Now, if you see that that battery level is still draining too much, you may want to tighten up that window and maybe just do it from 5 or 6 a.m. until 2 in the afternoon, just to make sure that you conserve your battery as much as possible. But I'd start with 5 a.m. to 6 p.m. or something like that, hit the save button. And then we're going to make two other adjustments. Under video recording duration, we're going to change this from 15 seconds, and I'm going to change mine to 60 seconds. So basically, when motion is detected on the camera, instead of just recording a 15-second video, it's going to take a 60-second video. So I'll get a little bit more of the action. But I'm also going to hit this early termination button down at the bottom. What that does is if the motion detector does not sense any motion while it's recording, it will immediately turn off the camera, even if the 60 seconds is not completed. So that again will conserve your battery. It'll also make sure that the clips that you get actually have some motion going on. So those are two very important settings. And then finally, the alarm interval, which is right below that. This is the time between recordings that it will wait before it looks for detection again. And so you can set this from 0 to 60. I think by default, it's usually set at 10 seconds, which is a little too quick. So we're going to set ours to 60, which I've already got mine set here. What that means is that when a video recording ends from motion detection, it will now wait 60 seconds before looking for further motion. Again, this is kind of reducing the amount of kind of duplicate videos that you might get. And those are the two big ones. You could change the alarm sensitivity level. Mine's set to low. Just simply in a BirdHouse context, the motion that you're going to get is probably birds, and so you don't really need high sensitivity. And the activity area is if you wanted to set a window. Well, the camera is really focused on the entire house, so that's not really going to help you to narrow the window of focus for motion detection. So those are the big settings. Just remember, if you do see as you're looking at your live stream that the battery is getting down to 20%, we highly recommend that you do turn the motion detection off just by pressing that green button and setting it off. You can always turn it back on the next day after it's had some time to charge, but that'll make sure that your battery doesn't die. Now, if your battery does die and your device goes offline while you do have birds in the house, you can go into the house, but you want to minimize the disruption as much as possible. So you do that by opening the roof on the BirdHouse and just power cycle the camera. Remove the switch cover, turn the power off and then on, and the battery probably has been charging from the solar, so the battery probably has juice in it. And this power cycling will just turn it back on, and it should automatically connect to Wi-Fi. So you should not need to take the camera out, bring it inside and charge it. It should have enough charge at that point. If you do have to bring it in and charge it, then that's what you'll have to do. But most of the time in our experience, you can just power cycle it, put the switch cover back on and the cable, close the roof without really ever disturbing anything inside the house. We just don't want to try to upset the birds at all while they're in there. So hopefully that helps. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to us at support@birdreel.com or 1-833-459-7770. Thanks and happy birding.